All right. So they are still outside landscaping. Of course, they decide to wait right until I'm ready to do something to come and cut grass and leaf blow and all of that jazz. And, nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about it. The landscapers are contracted to come and do the work here every Wednesday. So, um, yeah, they're just normally here earlier in the day, like around 11 a.m. I didn't think they were going to come today. But we are here together. We are here together. So, what can you do? Not much at all. So let me go. Okay. All right. Nothing much I can do about that. So let us get into it. Hey everybody, how are you? Please come and yes, come. I'm about to change the title of the video. Um yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me change the title of the video. Let me see what y'all voted for. Cause I put the constantly no. I put the poll up there, but let me see what you guys chose. Ooh, okay. Okay, so the choices were Esoterica Obscura episode, that was 29%. Tarot reading on the war, 29%. Tarot reading on the economy, 41% with 17 votes. So we are going to be reading on the economy. So thank you to everyone who voted. So yeah, let me get this together. Let me go ahead and set up. Let me set up so we can get into it. I hope everyone is having a great Wednesday. I'm doing good. I had to go get tacos yesterday. I did all of the things yesterday. Um Remove. Okay, so let me just delete that. Okay. Unpin. Okay. Let me do that and let me okay, we want all messages. Okay. So let me do this again. Let me change the title of this video and then we can get into it. We can get into it. Yeah, and then we can get into it. And I can't wait for these people to leave so I can open the window back up because baby, it's a little warm today. It wasn't hot enough for me to turn on the air conditioning, but a little warm. So let me go into YouTube Studio, change the title, and then let me see what I have going on here. Let me just quit. Okay. Okay. Let me go in and change the title. Okay, so make yourselves at home. Content. Let me go to live and change the no. Oh, I hate when I'm doing things. Okay, it won't let me do it this way. Let me just open up the and I'll make a thumbnail for this later. Channel dashboard. I'll make a thumbnail for this later, but we are going to get into the economy. If there is anything that we need to know or pay attention to, and of course, it is going to be driven by your questions. Okay, so Okay. So let me save this. Okay. Okay, so I have changed the title. Um, I've changed the title. Okay, so I've changed the title and we are going to get into it. Okay, so let me close that. All right. So we have our stream. Um, and they are like super loud outside. And it's so annoying because they didn't want to do any damn thing until I got ready to go live. But we're going to get into it regardless. All right, my darlings. All right. Let me say hello to everyone before I turn this camera on so we can get into it. Leo Lady says, good evening. Happy hump day. L Boogie says, hey, Q. Peace to the chat. Happy winning Wednesday. I love it. Sweet Ace of Silhouette. Yes, yes, yes. Hey, girl. Hello, regular ass B, aka Sleepy B, aka my fellow Bay Area sister. She said, hey, hey, walking my dogs, waiting in the clouds. Okay. All right. CN1, aka Ultraviolet. I ain't forget, girl. Uh-huh. 8. Hey, 8. How are you? Sexy RN is here. Hey, all right. So let me, and they really are making noise. Let me get myself together. All right. I don't know what y'all are talking about in the chat if we ever get to the chat. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. All right. So, hey, y'all. Let me do this. Need more space. Okay. Yeah, I've been seeing some things and I've been seeing some things astrologically. And, I am not an economist. I am not um an economic uh you know specialist, so I don't, I don't know um about things, but we're going to ask spirit because um I think that it's good for us to just, ask and engage, right? um ask spirit and see what's going on. Of course, whatever information comes from this, you all have to yourself decide what's best for you and your family to do. I don't know what spirit is going to say, but I don't know what spirit is going to say. Like I said, I've read things. Um I've seen people who are definitely, that's their body of work is to, um is to look at the market, see what's going on. Then we have all of the insider trading that's going on um in our political structure and our political bodies. Um it's so many things going on, but spirit is going to tell us what spirit thinks is important for us to know. So we are getting ready to get into this. Let me see. I really need to close this shit on my laptop. I'm sorry. I'm just like the person. I have like 5 million bookmarks open and tabs open because I research so many things. And I don't like to lose what I'm looking at because when you close things down, uh when you close things down, sometimes you don't find things again. So, I go through things and I screenshot and I do all of the things, right? Um, and yeah. And they are making so much goddamn noise outside. And it's really, really starting to piss me off because um they were not making noise until I said I was going to start this stream. So they can piss off and kiss my ass. Um, yes, I'm that frustrated about it because I swear it's every time I get ready to do something, it's some goddamn noise outside. So do with that information what you will. And I'm ready to open this window back up. And I don't want to turn on the air because then it's going to get too cold in here. But anyway, let's get to it. Makes this. Okay, let me see. Anything else? No. No. Let me see. All right. All right. One sec. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me. I'm tired. All right. Is everyone here? Everyone here. Let's make sure that we can see. Okay. So we are here together. We are here together. And just to reiterate, for those who may be new to, okay, let me stop this. That's enough. For those who may be new to my channel and what I do, let me unplug that. If you'd like me to answer your question, then please put either a purple heart or a purple crystal ball next to your question so that I know that it's a question, so that I can differentiate your question from the general conversation that's going on in the chat, right? But this live reading will be powered by you, so you all have to ask questions as it pertains to the economy. Okay? All right. So, okay. All right. All right. So go ahead and start with your questions. Please put a purple heart or a purple crystal ball next to your question so that I know that you're asking a question. So that I know that you're asking a question. Okay? So, okay. All right. Okay, so I see the first question is from my good sis, Black Widow Row. Is that what that says? Black Widow Row. And our good sis asks, what will shift in the economy? All right, that's a great question to start with. Great question to start with. Okay. What, if anything, is going to shift in the economy? Because we need to know. We need to know. And I saw it too. One of you, I can't remember who it was. It may have been Starry Eyed or Isis or Sexy RN. I can't remember who it was. One of you all sent me the article, like asking me, did I see that it was announced that the United States was insolvent. And I did see it before that person, I can't remember who it was, sent it to me. So I was like, this is interesting. Mr. Hoodoo and I, we were talking about it last night. It's going to be interesting. So, yeah, so this is the question that we're going to get into. What will shift in the economy? All right. So, we're just getting into it. We're getting into it. Interesting. Okay. Part of what's going to shift in the economy, and even more so, and make sure that you all, and let me just say this before I answer this question, make sure that you ask specific questions, detailed questions, because that way when I ask the question, I can drill it down to the specificity of what you're asking. But we're just getting started. So what I see here, what's going to change? Partnership is going to change. Partnership is going to change. We have, in an economic sense, those important partnerships, those important alliances, they're changing. They're changing. Important partnerships and important alliances are changing, right? They are changing. They are changing. And a lot of it is, and just separate from that, a lot of possibly people and maybe businesses and corporations, they're going to start to walk away. They're going to start to walk away. They're going to start to walk away. And those things can and will impact an economy. One of the biggest things that I see is that there is going to be the thing about it is right now they're thinking about how to frame this. So the economy is changing. We're losing, answering the question as it was submitted to me. Because I'm focusing on the United States, the strategic partnerships and alliances. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second, y'all. Babe really just called me in the middle of this. Hold on one second. so sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. I will edit this out of the video so that it's able to be viewed without interruptions because that was literally like 5 minutes worth of interruption. I am so sorry, y'all. Yeah, we've been on the phone talking about this emergency or whatever. But anyway, again, my apologies. I hope y'all didn't leave. Please come back. I'm still answering this question. Yeah, yeah. But it is what it is. Okay. So let me put my phone down. I will edit this out and we can get back to this reading. Okay. So, like I was saying, there is going to be economically what's going to change is, or if it's not already happening, we are losing allies. We are losing allies. We are losing strategic partnerships. And the thing about that is that looking at this card right here, it's the Three of Wands. It's in reverse for me. Wands is our fiery energy, it's our action energy, it's energy that is projected outward. Fire is initiating energy. You know, it has to move around. So not only are we losing these partnerships, things are going to slow down. The actions that are important to the economy are going to slow down. Okay. The actions that are important to this economy are going to slow down. I don't know what that means. Hopefully someone will ask another question. But yeah, so this is a big deal. This is a big deal with these partnerships. What I find very interesting is looking at this card. This is the Lovers card, and the Lovers card is the Lovers card is Gemini. So I think that what this is saying, you know, asking what will shift in the economy, we're going to see more of what these changes potentially are going to be. We're going to see more of that starting Aries energy, right? Fiery energy, which is the sun is in Aries right now. And then the sun is going to go into Taurus. And then the sun is going to go into Gemini. So I think we need to wait a couple months to see how things are going to continue to move. But right now, what's changing? Strategic partnerships for this country, strategic alliances, which will slow down, right? It's going to slow down the, it's going to slow down things. Things are going to stop. I don't know if that means jobs. We don't manufacture anything in this country anymore. All of that manufacturing has been outsourced to China and other Asian countries. But we're going to see more and more of things slowing down, us losing our strategic partnerships. Okay. People walking away, people wanting to walk away. I think because of what's going to be happening here, partnership and alliance wise for the United States, there's going to be more and more people who are going to be wrestling with the fact or wrestling with the question of, do I stay here in the United States? Do I cut tail and run now? I think the biggest part of it is that we are going to see, or there's a potential for us to see how this is going to be spun. How will this information about the economy, how is it going to be spun? What's going to be the spin? What's going to be the potential propaganda as it pertains to this? Okay. And I feel like the powers that be are thinking about how to do that now. Okay. Thinking about how to do that now. Okay. So, yeah, that's what will shift. People you may know, people you may not know, saying that they want to leave. Less partnerships, less strategical alliances is going to leave us wanting because of the slowdown and change in the partnerships economically, right? And alliances economically, it's going to really slow things down. And then we have to see what the spin factor is going to be on this, because the powers that be are already thinking about how they want to spin this. So, yeah, that's really That's really interesting. Okay, so you want to know, how do you get rich during this economic downturn? I don't know how you get rich. Yeah, this is more of a, please make sure that you keep your questions about the economy, not necessarily you yourself. Um, because there are always ways to make money, right? Even when there's economic downturn, but please try to keep your questions as community based about the economy, what that means for everyday people, what does that mean for, things like that. So I'm going to bypass this question for now. Um yeah. So, okay. So the next question, how does AI impact play a role in this economic shift concerning everyday person and jobs? That's a good question. Let's see. Another thing is, just part of the conversation. So I'm about to shuffle so that we can get into this question. Um AI is a really big AI is a disruptor the same way that the industrial revolution was a disruptor, right? Because before there were machines and steam trains and moving into cars, which, when the car came, when the personal car came, people weren't traveling by train, people weren't really traveling by horse and carriage. People were, they had this technology to help them do their jobs quicker, upscale, things like that. So there's always going to be a disruptor, a technological disruptor, but part of the conversation about AI is twofold. How far is too far? And two, when people created the steam engine or the trains or the planes, we weren't worried about that potentially becoming sentient, right? So there are a bunch of different conversations, but let's see what Spirit has to say about this. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Please come in, have a seat, like the video, share, like, subscribe. Okay. Tell us about AI, Spirit. I'm not saying that I don't like this, but let's see. We're just starting. This is the Seven of Swords right here. Eclipse, secrets, things that are hidden, secrets, secret actions, secret thought plans. Okay. Ten of Swords in reverse. Interesting. Okay, we're getting into it. And make sure that we are paying attention to repeat, any types of repeat cards or repeat energies that come up. So let's I want to see what this is right here. Okay. So I just want you all to pay attention and see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 swords cards. Swords is um thinking energy, air energy, aligns with AI. You can't see, quote unquote, AI. We interface with it, but it runs on the internet, which we don't see, right? Wi-Fi signals and stuff like that. So, okay, so how does AI impact or play a role in this economic shift concerning the everyday person? Listen, um, as people, as the everyday person, we have to pay attention to what is not being said, what is not being communicated as it pertains to AI. We have to, I'm going to say that again. We have to make sure that we really understand what is being said, what is not being said as it comes to AI. Okay. What is said, what is not being said as it pertains to AI. What are they telling us? What are they not telling us? Okay. So there are things they share, there are things that's not being shared. Um, how does AI impact? Unfortunately, um, it's not going to be good for lots of groups of people. I know that's very vague, but the ways in which things were functioning and working before, that's going to change. But it's going to change on more of a mass scale. We have the wheel right here. The wheel is the wheel of fortune. This is number 10 of the major arcana that's pertaining to Jupiter. So, as far as groups or communities being able to expand, having that good luck, having that ability to go out and conquer things, AI is changing that. But it's changing it for a lot of the world. It's changing it for large groups of people, communities, um, fields of work, what you do, um, where you work, for a bunch of different fields. Okay. I saw something earlier today. It's funny that you asked this question. I saw something earlier today where Melania Trump had some type of press conference or whatever with an adult robot, and they were announcing that the robots are going to be teaching in schools. So, no teachers, just robots teaching in schools. How is this going to change tech? Teachers, what is really going to be safe as far as industries? Because, the world that we live in, you have to do something to earn money, right? Um, it's coming for so many. So, all this forward motion, expansion, growth, and abundance for a lot of communities is going to change. A lot of communities, a lot of fields of work. Okay. I even saw something maybe about a month and a half ago. Lawyers, that lawyers can study case law and they can argue things. Tech, cybersecurity. They were talking about having robots teach classes. Um, we already know that AI is part of the hiring market. They're having companies are using AI to conduct interviews where humans aren't even in the mix. You just talk to the AI, right? So this has the potential to be a clusterfuck. It's changing for a lot of people. It's changing for a lot of people in a lot of industries around the world. The biggest thing, so jobs, because this is changing for a lot of the world, this is impacting a lot of jobs. And on top of that, what they're saying about AI publicly and what's truly going on are two different things. So, how does this affect everyday people? Look at what they're saying, look at what they're not saying, how they're implementing it, and it's it's going to significantly change how we work and earn money as a society and even globally. Even globally. So, that was a good question. That was a really good question. Okay, so the next question is from Sexy Arian, and she asks, how many more months before this economy as we know it collapses? That is a good question, my good sis. That is a good question. That's a good question. I mean, this AI stuff, music artists. People are creating music artists, AI artists. So, music, the art industry, right? Teachers, tech, lawyers. Okay. Um, AI is really, I'm not particularly fond of it. I know there is always a technology or something that comes to disrupt because the internet did that as well. Remember, it was newspapers, news stories. You had to, now we have the internet that we can share information with each other and around the world instantly. The internet was another big disruptor. But I think AI is something else. This is just Q's personal opinion, and I don't trust it. I don't trust it. But let's see what Spirit has to say. Okay, so Sexy RN, how many more months before this economy, as we know, collapses? Ooh, child. Okay. So, okay. So we're starting to see cards that were here. So we just saw this card. We just saw this card. We just saw this one. We just saw the Seven of Swords too. This time it's reversed. Oh, hoo, hoo, hoo. I'm not sure about total collapse. Um, this is this is crazy. I think we're gonna start to see breakdowns in things. I think we're gonna start to see breakdowns in things in 6 months. I'm not gonna say completely collapse because there is always a way to rebuild. Humans have been here for so long. But I think that honestly, I think that we're going to start to see some strain on things within the next 6 to 18 months. Within the next 6 to 18 months. Um yeah, within the next 6 to 18 months. I'm really curious to see so we have this eclipse card here. I'm really interested to see how things are going to look around the time of the eclipses in August. Um, we have an eclipse August 12th, right? Um, we have an eclipse August 12th. I'm interested to see how things start by then. And again, I'm just answering questions. I am not here to quote unquote fearmonger. You ask the questions. I'm telling you what spirit tells me, and then you decide what you need to do. You decide what you need to do. But I have seen where there are some astrological energies at play that look interesting, right? The patterns, repeating patterns that I'm investigating before I bring you the information. I'm making sure that I investigate before I bring you all the information. So Spirit says between 6 and 18 months is when we're going to start seeing some weirdo stuff. 6 to 18 months when we start to see weirdo stuff. Um, for those of you who are my people, you cleanse, you protect, you do the spiritual work that you need to do to make sure that you and your family have the things that you need. I've been saying it, and I've been saying it for like the past 2 years, right? I've been saying it the past 2 years, right? And I'm still saying it. So whatever you can financially do, even if that means, and this is just an example, I'm not telling you that the sky is falling, but if you can buy toiletries for 6 months to a year, and you can do that now, do that. At the end of last year, Mr. Hoodoo and I, we bought all of our toiletries. Soap, toothpaste, toothbrush heads. I have my feminine products, face wash, lotion, um, contact lens solution. He had his, body wash, vitamins, toilet paper, paper towels, laundry detergent, um, and then we went out and we got a small deep freezer for where we are, packing it full of food because you just never know, especially in this economy, in this job market, things can happen at any time. We have saved money. We have, so like I said, I'm not saying that the sky is falling, but when I knew that those tariffs were going to be enacted, and I knew that tariffs meant tariffs on all incoming foreign products, which this country imports a lot, right? We don't sell anything. We import a lot. I knew that meant get your shit together. So at least if something happens, you can wash your ass and you can wash clothes and you have some food, right? So again, I am not here to fearmonger. I'm telling you what Spirit is telling me. Spirit says 6 to 18 months is things will start looking strange. Okay. Okay. So the next question is from Sexy RN. And Sexy RN asks, the collapse worldwide or just the United States? Okay, that is a good question. And again, I'm not here saying collapse. I'm just literally answering your question. So whatever wording I use is because I'm answering your question. And I say that to say, because a lot of people lately, a lot of people that I have been seeing since the beginning of this year are telling tarot readers, spiritual workers, astrologers to stop fear mongering, because those of us who are tarot readers, spiritual workers, astrologers have been correct in some of our messaging that we are bringing to the masses. And now that people's ontological shock as it pertains to the conspiracy theories, Epstein files, it's weirdo people running the world. These people are rapists, pedos, possible satanic worshipers. After they got over that ontological shock, okay, when we started talking about the potentials for war with the United States and everything that comes with that, they couldn't handle it. You guys are fear mongering. No, baby. We're sharing the information. What you do with it is up to you. Now, if it becomes true in reality, then you probably should be glad that we told you, so that you won't be out here looking cray cray like you ain't know what the fuck was happening. Okay, so pattern recognition, all these things. So let's see what Spirit has to say about Sexy RN's question. People love to say, well, I wish I would have known. And then when we tell y'all, no, not like that, baby, we're not here to lie to you. We're not here to lie to you. We are here to tell you so you can plan accordingly. It has the potential to be global. It has the potential to be global. It has the potential to be global. Yeah. But I don't think it's collapse as in we're going back to the Stone Age. I think restructuring of what is this man? Well, restructuring of what things mean, right? Because remember, with the 1929 stock market collapse, right? We recovered, right? It recovered. We had the oil issues of the 70s. I wasn't alive for that. My father was. He told me about how it was trying to get gas and stuff. We remember the 2008 collapse, and there's actually a good documentary about it on Tubi that I was watching the other night. But things were pretty fucking terrible in 2008, 2009. Try finding a job that way. Q was at home living with her parents because Q couldn't find a job. This was before I was married. Then we had the issues with COVID, right? The bottom kind of fell out. It kind of recovered. And, so Humans are resilient. We are resilient. I think this has the potential to be um that globally it could affect countries just globally. So, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, y'all. Mm, hey Kevin. Kevin says we're going to lose power and influence. Mm, I mean, you can choose what news stories that you want to look at, but we are absolutely seeing things happen right now in real time. Okay, so the next question is from Kevin. Kevin asks, "Will the U.S. become a third world country?" Kevin, Kevin with the questions. Kevin with the questions. Um, y'all know I love y'all, right? Kevin with the questions. Okay. I mean, part of the U.S. is a third world country. I mean, I know United States exceptionalism is a thing. Um, but some of the things that we do in other countries are handling things. Yeah, other countries with free healthcare, with free education, people who are homeless, they're not homeless. You see somebody homeless, homelessness is a rarity for them, or certain things, right? Other countries, you need some medical care, or you need to take a sabbatical from work. Okay, well, take your 6 months if you need to, work on yourself or ease stress, and you'll still get paid, stuff like that. In other countries, yeah, or other countries where you can go to the pharmacy and get whatever medicine that you need without a prescription. It's so funny because like when you go to Mexico, like whenever I go to Cancun, most of the resorts, they'll have like a little convenience store in the resort. You can get like toothpaste and deodorant, soap, buy clothes, buy scuba masks and stuff like that. In those little convenience stores on the resorts in Cancun, things that require prescriptions here, you can just pick up there. Things that require a prescription here in the United States, you can just go get there. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. So, yeah, I saw all types of stuff that you can go in there and get without a prescription. And if I was a smuggler, I would have been buying all that stuff and then coming back and like selling things. But I'm not. I'm not. Okay, will the US become a third world country? Yeah, you go to a bunch of different places and you don't need, there. I'm not saying that other countries don't have their issues because no place is perfect, but like I think Kevin, it's gonna depend. It's gonna depend on what's gonna happen with our partnerships in the future. Right now, there are a bunch of people who don't trust us. What was it? Who was it? I think it was either Spain or France, or it was one of our allies who said they can no longer trust us because they told our government something, and then it was either like Russia or somebody else knew about it. Like the leak was there, like it was so can't be trusted. Can't be trusted. Um, as far as sharing of information, can't be trusted. So and then the whole we just gonna put these tariffs on you and all like that agreements that were in place and everything like that. And listen, I'm not saying things can't be changed or improved, but this right here is making it's isolating us. We don't live in the world by ourselves. We do not make anything. We don't make anything. We don't make anything anymore. And so, so I think it depends. But there are some chain just coming. Will we be a third world country? I think third world country, I'm going to say no. Are things going to get difficult for some people? Yes, even more so than difficulty now. This whatever is going on now is bringing a lot of change. It's bringing a lot of change. And the change, like how, okay, so this is what Spirit said. Like how you have those carnival rides and it's like the boat that goes like this. It's like a huge boat. And then it goes further up and further up and further up until the boat, spins upside down and then keeps going and keeps going. And then it like this. This is what Spirit is telling me. We're at the point right now where that carnival ride boat is doing this. The carnival ride boat is doing this. We're not upside down yet, but difficulties are coming. Difficulties even more so than right now are coming. Difficulties even more so than right now are coming. And it's going to be a change. It is going to be a major change. It is going to change a lot about this country. It's going to trickle down. There is going to be drastic change. There's going to be drastic change. There is going to be a period of, okay, well, we're going to have to work together. And then, so third world country, I don't see third world country, but I do see financial change, and financial change that has to, the changes is going to be societal level changes. Now, what people do after that, I don't know, because that's not the question. But there are changes, and these are going to be serious, deep changes. Serious, deep changes. The trigger hasn't been pulled yet, but the gun is loaded. So, third world country, I don't see third world country. One can argue right now that some aspects of the United States is third world. But change is coming. Difficult change is coming. There is, and part of this is, so remember when I told you all that in 2026 we were having the changes of outer planets moving from feminine signs to masculine signs. When these planets change signs, new energies arise. Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for a long time. Okay. Saturn is going to be in Aries until 2028. Neptune is in Aries for the next 12 years. Right? So we have some societal level changes coming. And then Jupiter is going to be moving from Cancer, the sign of its exaltation, okay, into Leo. That is going to be a change as well. So we have to, and then the United States is going to be experiencing its Uranus in Gemini return. Okay, Uranus is moving into Gemini, I think April 20th this year, but we will not have the full on Uranus and Gemini return for the United States until next year. So Uranus and Gemini periods for the United States have been marked by war. Okay, marked by war. Just history. It's just history, right? The patterns are there. So things are changing. Things are changing on a grand scale. I don't see complete obliteration. I don't see like complete third world country, but there are going to be some harsh changes. There will be some harsh changes, and part of those harsh changes will be financially. The thing about changes is change is constant. So things will change, and things don't stay quote unquote bad forever, right? That's just the energy of change. So I hope that answers your question, son, Kevin. Okay. All right. The next question is from Isis. Isis asks, will the US economy get back in good standing with the world in general? That is a good question. That is a good question. That is a good question. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Let me see what y'all are saying in the chat because I am let's see. Okay, I'm reading what some of you are saying. Black Widow Rose says, I was alive for 2008, 2009 then. My family was fine during that recession. I was 13 years old going to high school. My whole street foreclosed homes except for me and my neighbors. Yeah. Yeah, I had graduated college. I was trying to find a job. I'm part of those people who graduated college and was trying to find a job. It wasn't working. So I moved back to Chicago, living with my parents in Chicago, trying to find work. It did not work. Meanwhile, Mr. Hoodoo was working for the Department of Defense overseas. So, you know, and I was engaged. I was engaged at that time. So, I was living at home. I was engaged. Mr. Hoodoo was working overseas, Department of Defense. And by the time we got married, I still hadn't found any work. It just didn't work out. And that was 2010. I still didn't find anything. I ended up working for um the US government for a little bit. And then we moved back to Atlanta. And then that's when the housing market crashed, which was good for us because we were ready to buy a house. So we got a great deal on a house. And then I really didn't start working again until like um 2013. I mean, I had went back to school. I figured, well, while I'm not working, I can go back to school and start learning something for new skills. That's how I got into IT, tech, and security, IT security. So it's been real interesting. It's been an up and down for those of us who are like elder. I'm not even mad when like people clock out and die because like the shit is weird out here. Yeah, yeah. Kevin says, I'm not an exceptionalist, although I admit I have some blinders. Listen, we are citizens of this country, right? You were born here, you grew up here. So yeah, it's the same thing with other people's countries. They, love their country, some things that can change, it's okay. But now that we have the internet and we can see things that happen for real in other countries, we can see that some of the things we've been told is bullshit. We can see that some of the things we have been told is bullshit. Like, for example, in other countries, when you buy a house and you pay it off, you own the house. You don't pay taxes on it. Here in the United States, you buy a house, you pay it off, you still have to pay taxes on this property every year. Okay? So we're not going to sit here and pretend that, and sometimes we don't even get that much for the taxes that we're paying, right? So, we just gotta call a spade, baby. We just gotta call a spade. Okay, I'm just like, damn, you buy, all you gotta do is not pay taxes, and then you'll have a tax lien against your home, and then you paid off your mortgage in 20 years, and then you didn't have the money to pay taxes that year. Someone can come buy your property for $4,000 or $5,000 because you didn't pay taxes. That you paid off because they, So understand there are some things that we do great, and there are some things that we could probably do better with. So I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Let me open up the blinds, the curtains some more. So I'm just gonna say it. Fucking wow. Okay. So will the U.S. economy get back in good standing with for the world in general? It's going to take a lot of conversation. It's going to take a lot of conversation, baby. We are going to have to. So the way that we would have to do it, answering your question, we would have to wine and dine. We would have to be out here simping and winding and dining and being real nice to some of these other countries and partners and allies again. Because right now, baby, they don't trust us. They do not trust us. Will the U.S. economy get back in good standing with the world in general? Baby, it's going to take a lot of us whining and dining and pleading like they Teddy Pendergrass on a song. Okay. We're gonna have to do some Keith Sweat whining and crying. Okay. We're gonna have to do some Gerald Levert style singing and wooing to get back good with our economic partners. Okay. Cause I love you. I mean, we gonna have to do it. Okay, we gonna have to do it. We gonna have to do it. Because right now, our partners, our alliances, baby, we can't be trusted. Okay. So it's gonna be there will come a point in time, okay? You gotta call a mariachi band. Okay. You gotta call Joe, Kim. Who else be out here singing and crying? Keith Sweat. Okay. Jodeci. Okay, we're gonna have to do some Jodeci come and talk to me. Some Jagged Edge, let's get married. Okay. That's what we're gonna have to do. We gonna have to be out here whining and dining. Okay. We're gonna have to be out here whining and dining to get back good. Because right now we can't be trusted. Right now we can't be trusted. Okay. They're gonna be like, yeah. Are any of y'all old enough to remember like Eddie Murphy Raw and like his stand-up comedies? I know Sexy RN is. Eddie, what have you done for me lately? Mm-hmm. Because baby, we can't be trusted. So will we get back in good standing? Yeah, after we beg and plead. After we beg and plead. After we beg and plead. Okay. After we beg and plead. Okay. We're gonna have to do some. Okay. We're gonna have to do some okay. The little steak dinner ain't enough no more. You got to do surf and you got to buy the steak and the crab legs. And the good $20 a drink. Okay, we got to buy out the VIP and buy them bottles. Okay, to get back good. I mean, it just is what it is. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. Come and talk to me. I really wanna meet you. Can I talk to you? I really wanna know you. We gonna be SWV week. SWV week. Okay, the boy is mine. Monica and out here to get it together again. But I mean, it is what it is. Okay, let's answer this question here. Kevin asks, how many decades will it take for the U.S. to recover from this? Oh, Kevin. We have three major arcana cards here. We have the world in reverse. We have the moon upright. We have the devil card in reverse. How many decades? I don't think it's going to be like decades. I think the difference is going to be amount of years. But make no mistake about it. The US being on top again, that's not happening right now. That's not happening right now. See, one of the things that, I would like for more people to read and understand that the significant changes as it pertains to the United States um happened with the Uranus and Gemini transits. Okay, we went from not being a country, we went from, okay, with the loose history, we went from 13 colonies to fighting Great Britain, the English, okay, the Maria Coast coming to establishing and being our own quote unquote country. The next time, we had the Civil War and all like that. And then, after that, we had with the Civil War, it was Reconstruction in the United States, the Industrial Revolution changed alongside of that. So we were starting to become the big dog. Then World War II, after we nuked the fuck out of Japan, which I wasn't there. So I can't, I'm not gonna get into that. After we nuked the fuck out of Japan twice, and we told the world, hey, we'll drop that thing on you. We became the global dominant, right? Like I said, that transition period is coming, and we're in the beginning of this transition period. I don't know what it's gonna be after this. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but I don't think we're gonna be the global the global hegemony. From understand how the global hegemony changes is these different countries that conquer. You had like the Ottoman Empire, you had Greco-Roman, okay, the Greco-Romans, they even took over Great Britain back in the day. Okay, Britain, is pretty much a baby Rome. Then, created the United States. United States is a baby Rome. It keeps changing, right? But it used to be Britain. It used to be Britain with all of those Commonwealth countries, Jamaica, Australia, Canada. We can keep going, we can keep going. And then the United States became the big dog. Things are always going to change, but we're not going to be quote unquote the dominant one anymore. This is my opinion. Spirit also says I don't think it's going to be decades to recover from this. And my question for you, Kevin, is when you when you ask how many decades is going to be to recover from this, are you speaking in terms of the United States being the leader of the world or just recovering overall? Because and you would have to tell me that as far as recovering from things, it's going to take some years. Okay, so that's 18, 15. Okay, so 15, 18, 21. So 15 to 21 is what, 6 years? So it might take us like a good 6 to 10 years to recover from whatever this economic foolishness is. But as far as, I don't know if you meant uh being the top dog. I don't think we're going to be top dog anymore. But to recover from this economical mess, probably 6 to 10 years. I don't think it's going to be decades. I think it's going to be 6 to 10 years. But it's going to be some major changes. And it's funny because with the major changes, we got this devil in reverse, the devil card in reverse. And I'm starting here with the devil card in reverse because the devil card is number 15. Okay. You can read Roman numerals. Okay. You see the 10 and the 5. That's 15. So 15 to 18, right? And then the world card is 21. So as these things happen, it's going to be who's pulling the strings, who is going to be the scapegoat, how are we going to place the blame? Are we going to blame the stock market? Are we going to blame the oligarchs? Are we going to blame the tech bros? Are we going to blame Congress because Congress didn't step up to stop things? Are we going to blame? Who are we going to blame? Right? The blame's going to come. Then after the blame, it's going to be, okay, we need to sit and reflect. And sometimes when you sit and reflect, you sink down into the shadow work, you sink down and understand the part that you have to play or the part that you played in whatever happened, right? So we're going to go from who are we blaming to reflection, deep down reflection, deep down being honest about things and what we did to contribute to this mess. And then moving into, okay, let's start this machine back up. Let's move into doing better and fixing things, right? Okay. So, hey, how are you? So, I hope that answers your question. The next question is from Kevin again. And Kevin asks, how are Black people, especially Black Americans, plan to manage through this heavy economic shift? That is an excellent question, Kevin. Excellent question. Excellent question. Let me drink some water. The veins are popping out on my arms. That means I need some water. Okay. I'm actually behind on my water today. Bad cue. I'm behind on my water. I gotta drink my water. Okay, so question. Kevin is just like, okay, so what Black people gonna do? Black Americans, how we gonna get through it? Excellent question, Kevin. I can always trust Kevin to come with the great questions. Great questions. Everyone, please like the video. Please like and describe. Please like the video. Okay. Okay, what does this mean, Spirit? And I want you all to notice how we are having a lot of major arcana cards. We have major arcana card here, major arcana card here. And for those of you that may not be familiar, the major arcana cards, okay, those are the cards where the messaging, the lessons, the intentions, the energies are very, very potent and what we have to pay attention to. These are the major energies, right? So we've been getting a lot of major arcana cards. We have seen the wheel numerous times. We've seen the devil card pop up. We have seen the lovers card as far as partnerships. We're seeing a lot of energy comes up that is telling us the story of what's going on energetically, right? So, ooh. The moon, we've had this moon card come up at least twice already. So this is some major energy. This is a major energy. Okay. So we need to reflect. I'm answering Kevin's questions. We need to reflect. We need to reflect as a community. As a community, the biggest thing is that we can't. Okay, I'm trying to explain to you all what Spirit is telling me. Spirit says we cannot ignore what's going on. We can't ignore what's going on. We have to look into what's going on and we have to prepare. We have to take our emotions out of it. It's not about what you want, what you hope, what you feel. We have to prepare. So preparation is key. Preparation without being emotional about it. You wish it didn't happen. Things have the potential to happen and you need to prepare. So take the emotion out of it. Take the emotion out of it. And when you work in a group, you can't work in a group with people that can't control themselves. So whoever your community is going to be, you have to work in excuse me. I think I have hiccups now. But you have to work in community with people who can take the emotion out of it and focus. You can't be in community getting through this with people who are immature. So, no immature people, no people who can't focus, no people who are emotional about it. You need people who are going to focus. You need people who are going to understand what's going on and do the work. As abstract as that sounds, I think it's good advice because it's not about what we feel, it's not about what we hope, it's not about we have to look at situations right here in reality to what they are for. Look at what's happening in reality in real time. Assess the situation and work with other people who can do the work as it pertains to survival, whatever that survival means. So, all the people who are, well, I don't believe this, or yada, 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 or, and I'm going to say this as gently as possible, still doing stupid shit, those are not the people you need to be around. You need to be around people who pattern recognition, people who see things for what they are, people who can prepare and stay focused. Maybe it's you. This becomes a situation to where for those who don't take it seriously, you can't wait for them to take it seriously because then you'll lose momentum. If you wait for some people to take it seriously, you may be behind in doing what you need to do. Okay? You need people who need to focus, who can focus. People who can focus, people who aren't emotional. We need people who can do the work, who can focus and focus on important things and not stupid shit. Because being in your feelings about it is not going to help. Being in your feelings about it is not going to help. You that is how Black people can survive. That's how Black people can survive. Control. Staying focused with control, controlling what you can control. Controlling what you can control because you can't control this entire system. Control what you can control, but you got to be with people who are focused. You have to be with people who are focused. People who are on things that may not be necessarily important as it pertains to potential survival, that's not who you want to be around. You have to find like-minded people. You have to find like-minded people. That's going to be the thing. Finding the like-minded people because some people are just, you know, you have to find people who are thinking long term about things, not people who are just thinking about next week. Thinking about the long term implications of things and what does that mean? And how you can best prepare for that. That's all we can do. But that's what we as Black people need to do as far as Kevin. Answering Kevin's question. That's what we need to do. Because it's yeah, we can't, Okay. So the next question is from Kevin again. Kevin asks, how is Trump using this economic crisis to gain and fuel his pockets? as he uses executive powers to disrupt American lives and send troops to this ridiculous war. Right, because those of us, like, we can see the writing on the wall. We can see the writing on the wall when it comes to things like people who are just like, oh, things are fine. Okay, there were how many Black people that were fired and or removed from their jobs, from their government jobs with Doge, right? I think the estimates are at least 600,000, maybe a million, right? So if that's just Black people and then other people are being laid off, all these other jobs, and there are 2 jobs, people ain't gonna get jobs. People aren't gonna get jobs. Where are all these people gonna go? And what are all these jobs that people are gonna be competing for? You're gonna be competing for the same jobs, okay? Energetically, and I've told you all this before, energetically, this is turning into, I'm just speaking energetically. Energetically, the game plan is, okay, because we were telling people about Project 2025. And then you got to look at the other one, the what is it, 2030, right? Energetically is somewhat the Hunger Games, trying to feudalism, serfdom, all of these things are coming into play energetically. If you are out here competing with the same other 30 million people for jobs, somebody ain't gonna have no job. So as you don't have income, not saying you, but just speaking generally, as someone doesn't have income, how are you going to feed your family or buy your clothes or get your medicine or, all these things, toiletries, the things that you need to survive? Okay. I said this a year ago, maybe, even though I've been telling you all for 2 to 3 years to make sure you have the resources that you need. I've been saying it for a reason. Okay. So, let me turn on the light and then we'll answer Kevin's question because the sun is going down now. So let me turn on the light overhead. Yeah, so we can continue. Okay. So now that the light is on, let us continue. But yeah, I've been saying what I've been saying for years for a reason. Okay. What Trump doing to enrich himself, child? All right. How is he using this to enrich himself? He's ending relationships. Okay, this is 2 of Cups in reverse. He's ending relationships and partnerships. Here we go again. This card has come up again. 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 So understand the energies. Understand the energies. Okay. So he's ending relationships. He's ending important relationships. He is sacrificing us. He's sacrificing us while trying to call himself a victim. He's sacrificing us while trying to call himself a victim. Okay. Oh, yeah. As he is doing this, there is a quote unquote change. The stability of the country changes while he's doing this. Okay. Not sacrificing us like a ritual, but sacrificing the country. Sacrificing the country when you end these partnerships, when you make it so bad that our allies don't want to be our allies anymore, we lose protection, we lose our good name, we lose business partnerships, we lose strategic alliances, sacrificing us. Okay. So, not like a ritual, like spiritual ritual, but all these things because he is maneuvering certain things. Okay. He's maneuvering and doing certain things. But yeah, the partnerships and alliances, they are dwindling day by day. Okay. And the result of that will be a country that's isolated that no one wants to work with. What he is doing, per spirit, allegedly, what he is doing is the slow version of what we have done to Cuba. What he is doing, I'm going to say it again. What he is doing is the slow version of what the US has done to Cuba. What we are still doing to Cuba. Cuba has no oil. Cuba has no oil. Cuba has gone dark 3 times this month with no oil, so no electricity, no refrigeration, no surgeries. People on ventilators died, babies that needed to be on hospital machinery died, people who needed dialysis and there was no electricity to do something died. There is no cooking. People in Cuba have been trying to cook with wood fires from the trees and sticks. Okay, no air conditioning, no emergency services. This is the slow version of what the United States has been doing to Cuba. I spoke to someone, so let me tell you all something. Quick story time. So you remember those of you who were around last year. In May of 2025, Mr. Hoodoo and I, we went to Cancun. We took a vacation, we went to Cancun. The gentleman that checked us in at the front desk at the resort, he wasn't Mexican, he was Cuban. He left Cuba. He said it was so bad in Cuba. This is what he told us. Okay. Someone from Cuba who fled Cuba and immigrated to Mexico. Okay. He was the hotel, representative at the desk checking us in. He told us it was so bad in Cuba there wasn't even any meat. He said there was no jobs, old infrastructure, all that. Imagine fleeing Cuba to go work in Mexico because there's nothing for you in your country. So this isn't what we did to Cuba, it's what we're still doing to Cuba. And that's why I told you all Cuba is next. We, the United States, is doing that to those people. And the United States as a country has to pay. Yes, Kevin, no meat. No meat. He's like, you couldn't even go to stores and go to me. This is someone I talked to personally. And that man told us he was so happy that he got out of Cuba. He hated to leave his country, but there was no work, no jobs, no. And he got a job in Cancun working being the hotel representative, when you check into a hotel, they check you in. He left Cuba for Mexico. The United States has to pay for its sins, energetically pay for its sins. The problem is that how the country pays for its sins affects all of us. This is why there is so much they're talking about the Strait of Hormuz, because understand understand the game right now. So everybody talking about some, oh, this, that, and the third, and oh, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. United States is not innocent. United States is not innocent. But anywho, back to this. So Trump is doing, allegedly, spiritually, this for entertainment purposes only. He is doing to the United States the the, what was being done to Cuba. Alienated, few allies, things are changing economically to where the supply chain could break down. Inflation, right? But yeah, so he's ending these partnerships while claiming that he's a victim, sacrificing us. Okay. What is also changing is the structure of who's really in charge. That's changing. This is how he's enriching himself. And I need for some of you all to go look into that. Go look into that. Some of the ways that he is doing things. Okay. Can't get stuff out of the Strait of Hormuz. Oh, we can get things to go through my company. Telling us that we can't buy routers, internet routers from other countries. No outside routers allowed in the United States. The United States don't make shit. The United States doesn't make things. We import things. Yes, the latest is you can't have any routers from outside. Why? Why would you want to control the routers? You mean the things that help us access the internet? I need for people to wake up. I need for people to wake up. Okay, so going back to this, we might not have any. He's also has his pockets in defense. Allegedly, he's pocketing some of the defense stuff. However, he's doing it with like strategic defense or like drones or like weapons and stuff like that. This is what he's doing. This is what he's doing. This is what he's doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's just like, I don't understand how people didn't listen. There's nothing wrong with being conservative. Q is very conservative on some things. I am liberal on some other things, right? It is Q's opinion that being conservative is fine, but being one of them crazy MAGA motherfuckers, that's completely different. Being conservative and being MAGA are two different things. Two different things. Like I said, I'm fully conservative on a bunch of different things. And I'm just like, okay, I'm liberal with something. Like, I think a woman should have the right to choose what goes on with her body. I think a woman should have a right to an abortion. But some of this other shit, I'm like, no, we are not turning children into something else. We're not doing that. I think those people have mental health issues, respectfully. Why are we being taxed to high head? Like, I'm very conservative on some things, and pretty much like liberal with some things. I do believe that children shouldn't be in school hungry. A right to education, like I don't think certain things should be you should have to pay for certain things because the education, all of us get the education, it benefits all of society, right? So I'm conservative on some things. I'm more open to some other things, but there's a difference between being a conservative and being a MAGA. Two different things. And I don't know how people didn't understand that someone who has bankrupted most of his companies, an alleged slumlord with his real estate, who lies and says he's a Christian and lying to y'all, cheats on his wife when the wife is pregnant, all of these different things, you think this is going to be the best person to run the country. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. The track record, it speaks. But yeah, so that's what it is. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. Okay, so the next question is from Kevin again. Kevin asks, what opportunities that people should best utilize or pivot towards while in this change? That's a good question. But it's not even reading. Like, I see what Black Widow said. Like, it's not even reading. Like, it's just like, I don't know. But it just that talking about, oh, we're gonna get this country together. The man couldn't even keep it in his pants with his wife. If you will be that dirty and disrespectful to someone that you married, what does that say? What does that say? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. But anyhow, let's get into this question. Oof. This is what opportunities should people best utilize to pivot towards this change? Um, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this as respectfully as I can. Do what you need to do to get some money so you get what you need. It's not best opportunities, it's pivot, it is get to high ground when you can to prepare. Now, I'm not saying to do illegal shit. I'm not saying to scam people, but whatever you need to do to get your resources in order, that's what you need to do. Because when this shit hits the fan, okay, this is the shit hitting the fan, things will change. What degree shit will hit the fan? I don't know. Spirit said you need to do whatever it is you need to do. It's not like you need to do whatever you need to do to get your resources without harming someone and without scamming people. This literally what Spirit said. And Spirit says when Spirit is saying this, Spirit needs you to reconcile and understand that survival of the fittest is going to be survival of the fittest. Spirit says do what it's not one thing. Spirit says do whatever you need to do to get yourself together and have your resources without scamming people or hurting people. That's what Spirit said. And Spirit said, don't think too long. Mm-hmm. and make peace with doing what you need to do to survive and have what you need. Like I said, as long as you are not scamming people or hurting people, do what you need to do. The pivot is do what you need to do. And it's just that simple. Do what you need to do and be okay in your spirit with yourself with doing what you need to do to get your resources, to get what you need to prepare without hurting people. Okay? Sell cookies, sell fish plates. I see Black Widow down there. Yup, say hell, sell cookies and plates if you have to. No, no, no. If you are doing some work or you're doing something, you're creating something, you're making something, you're not harming other people, you're not stealing from other people, you're not scamming other people. Honest work is honest work. Just don't be out here lying, scamming, and hurting people. I mean, if it and I'm gonna say this as respectfully as I can, the people who fake it till they make it, whatever you got to do, whatever you got to do, you specialize in vision boards, specialize in vision boards. You baking cupcakes on the side for kids' birthday parties, bake your cupcakes on the side. Okay, cupcakes. Get $4 a cupcake. Whatever you have to do, because that's work, right? It's legitimate work. You're fulfilling a need or a service. Whatever you got to do, just don't be out here lying, scamming, unaliving people, shit like that. Like, I mean, it's just at this point, it's going to be do what you need to do to survive, and you know, do what you need to do to survive. Offer You have time 3 days a week. You could be a personal assistant to somebody for 2, 3 days a week, earning money on the side. Whatever it is that you have to do to get your resources and yourself together, that's what you have to do. Um, let's see what is going on. Mr. Hoodoo is texting me. I'm so sorry. Sorry, y'all. Okay. But that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. If you have a skill set, if you have a time, I mean, hell, make an ebook, a PDF or something, you know, $5 a pop, whatever it is that you got to do. Whatever it is that you got to do. Whatever it is that you got to do. So it isn't anything specific. Spirit said it's time to get your shit together. Okay. It is giving great reset energy. It is. It absolutely is giving great reset energy. And I did do a reading on the Great Reset. What was it? 4 years ago? I think I made the video public on my channel for people to go back and look. But I did do the Great Reset video. So there may be some information there that may be useful. I have to go back through that reading. I don't remember what I said, but I did remember saying that information is going to be vital. Okay. So the next question is from Kevin again, and Kevin asks, "How long will it take before AI gains sentience?" Ooh, that's a question right there. I mean, listen, if you got to sell some feet pics, sell some feet pics. Sell feet pics. Maybe you find someone that is very interested in your used underwear. If they want to buy the underwear that you wore, then Sell the underwear that you wore. You're not selling to children. You're not harming anyone. If there's plenty of products that people out here will buy. Mm-hmm. If you want to put together recipe books and sell your recipe books, sell a recipe book. If you want to provide the service of, you were an accountant and you just can't find work right now, hey, I'll fix your books for $30 an hour, $40 an hour, whatever it is you need to do. Do it. Okay, Kevin always with the good questions. How long will it take before AI gains sentience? Ooh. I'm not judging anyone that has to do what they have to do. As long as you aren't harming children, you aren't being a pedophile, you aren't graping, you aren't unaliving, you aren't scamming people, you're offering things straight up. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. I don't judge it, right? I don't judge it. So yeah. Ooh. Will it be that long? I think that we have some time. I think that we have some time. I think that we have some time. We may have 4 to 10 years. We may have 4 to 10 years. The thing about it is people who are heavily invested in it, they who are creating the AIs and the language models and stuff like that, I think that I don't want to say these people need to be stopped, but there are people with vast amounts of money that are pouring their money into things, trying to dominate the market, but they don't understand what it is they're doing. I think we have 4 to 10 years, if that long. I think we have 4 to 10 years. I think we have 4 to 10 years before it reaches that point. This is just what Spirit's saying, and it's funny because Spirit is partially not telling me, but Spirit is giving me clues. Spirit is saying, Spirit is showing me iRobot. Spirit is showing me iRobot. My mind went straight to the character Sunny and iRobot. I think we have 4 to 10 years. I think we have 4 to 10 years. Yeah. The thing about it now is that there are like with these large language models, they're still perfecting it because a lot of it is built on the biases that people may know that they may or may not have, right? The software, the programming is only going to do what you tell it to do, and some of those biases are built in. So we're not fully there yet. I think we have 4 to 10 years. I think we have 4 to 10 years. I think we have 4 to 10 years. Yeah, we have to see what the rest of these eclipses are going to do. We still have 2 more eclipses left for this year, right? So eclipse season is usually 6 months apart. So yeah, when we get to August, we have to see what those eclipses do, right? Because the moon's nodes, the north nodes and south node, they are changing signs this year as well. So yeah, they're changing as well. The nodes move backwards in time, astrologically. So the north node is going to be in Aquarius, the south node is going to be in Leo. So that's changing too. That's changing later on this year. Then we have two more eclipses. So we have to see. But she says, yeah, the eclipse in August 12th is going to shift. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. That's one of my friends from college. That's her birthday. Yeah. Yeah. So we have to see. We can only see what's going to happen when things happen, but there are absolutely energetic similarities. So we have to see. We absolutely have to see. Okay, so the next question is from Kevin. Kevin asks, how long does this administration plan to drag out this war? That's a good question. That's a good question. Somebody is asking a question, when will it be good to buy a house again? And I see it down there. I mean, I'm answering Kevin's question now. I'm just paying attention to the chat. That's going to be an interesting question when we get to it. How long is this administration plan to? Lord have mercy. Okay. I want y'all to know this card, it keeps coming up. The devil card keeps, this card has come up with almost every question. Almost every question. Lord. Okay, so 10, 15, 18, 3. There aren't any plans to drag this out right now, from what Spirit says, but this could go on for the next 3 years. This could go on for the next 3 years. This could go on for the next 3 years. Listen, the rapture was supposed to be on March 22nd. So technically we just missed the next rapture. You know, it was a rapture last year. You know, we keep missing the rapture. Um ha ha ha. But yeah, this could be a few years. It could be a few years. Will it be before Ish hits the fan or while Ish is hitting the fan? It's gonna be while Ish is hitting the fan. While Ish is hitting the fan. This could be over the next 3 years, 3 to 4 years. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You have your stuff in storage, yeah. She said it's not fear mongering when it's correct. It's a warning. Absolutely. Hey boo, how are you? Yeah. Okay. 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 Let me see some other questions. Okay, the next question is from Kevin again. And Kevin asks, how is the ICE officers moving into the airport due to partial government shutdown and TSA not being paid, a reflection of what has happened and what will happen with the economy? Kevin always has such great questions. Yeah, it has the potential to play out over the next 3 years. But but there are some of us looking at, things astrologically, so we have to see what comes up. I'm not sharing my findings, and I'm not sharing various findings with you all until like I do some more research on some things, because looking at these charts and stuff like that is not like a quick 5-minute thing. Sometimes you have to look at a chart, and then you have to pull up charts of other people and situations that things have happened to, and compare those energies. Then you got to go back in history and look at this, and you got to, looking at these charts and stuff like that isn't a quick thing. um they absolutely take time, but yeah, there are some things that we as astrologers are looking at. So, like I said, I present my findings when I have a good grasp on things energetically. So, okay. How is the ICE officers moving into the airport part of what has happened and will happen with the economy? Oh, Kevin. Oh, Kevin. Okay, so Spirit said it has nothing to do with the economy. This isn't about the economy. ICE moving into the airports is not part of the economy. This is what Spirit says. I said moving ICE. Okay. Spirit says that ICE moving into the airports is not about the economy. It's about power. I said this is about power. This is about power. Yeah. Okay. So Spirit said this is about power. This has nothing to do with the economy. With ICE going into the airports, this isn't about the economy. It's a power play. It's a power play, a power move. But the thing about it is that energetically, this directive for ICE to go into the airports, while it's thought to be a show of power, it's actually not. It's a show of weakness energetically. Hmm. It's a show of weakness energetically. It's also part of, how do I say it? It's part of, I don't want to say a psyop, but it's part of, like when so many things are happening at once, people don't know how to regulate their nervous systems, right? This is It's part of an energetic play. Yes. It's part of an energetic play. It's part of a scare tactic because so many things are going on at once. People are being bamboozled. They're being shocked with all of these things happening at once. They don't know what to do. Okay. This is part of an energetic play. This has nothing to do with the economy. Okay. So you have understand the main conversations. The economy, gas is going up, food is expensive, the housing market, you can barely rent, you can barely buy. Okay. War, we have the side of war. We're in this war with Iran. Those of us that have um friends and family members in the armed services, we're worried about where they're going, right? Then we don't have, the job market is trash. All these people are being laid off. Okay. So understand the blitzkrieg, the energetic power play at play. This is an energetic power play. This has nothing to do with the economy. They want you, they want your nervous systems overregulated. They want you spazzing out. They want you worried. They want you feared. This is an energetic play. When you are energetically scrambled like this, you can't think straight, you can't plan, and you throw your hands up and just like, okay, you know what, fuck it. So understand the energetic game at play. This isn't about the economy. This is a power play. Right. This is a power play. It's a weak power play with the conversation around them being in the airport. Oh, whoever it is, Democrats or Republicans, whatever, didn't they got the economy shut down. Okay. Understand the energetics at play. This is fear mongering, this is scare tactics, this is bamboozling you with so many different things going on. You can't regulate yourself, you can't think straight. Stress, worry, fear. Okay. This has nothing to do with the economy. Nothing to do with the economy. This is a power play. This is an attempt at a power play. Yeah, that's what that is. Mm-hmm. Power play. Okay. Next question is from Kevin. Kevin asks, will there be states that break apart and attempt to gain separation and sovereignty from the economic issues? How will this test the nation in this sense? That's a really good question. Kevin with the questions tonight. Kevin with the questions tonight. Kevin with the Kevin is out here doing a damn thing with these questions. Okay. And make sure if you want me to address your question to put a purple crystal ball or a purple heart by your question so that I know that you are asking a question. But let's get into it. Let's get into it. But yeah, understand everything what's going on. War, economy, can't buy gas, can't find jobs. Understand the energetics at play. I don't want you all to be afraid. I want you to be able to think straight, plan and prepare, and use your magic to plan and prepare and get what you need for you and your family. Because we can't control the greater energetics of, unfortunately, the United States has to pay for its sins. It just is what it is. We are part of that. It just is what it is. We have no control over that. We control what we can control. This isn't to be afraid. This is pay attention, do what you need to do, and you will be all right. It's not for quote unquote us to fix when quote unquote we didn't do it. Take care of yourselves and take care of community with the people you are in community with. All this other shit, we pay attention. We're not stupid, but we're not afraid either. Starry-eyed. Hey, boo. I was talking to Starry-eyed earlier. We had a good little kiki. Starry-eyed, I answered your question. The last question that you texted me, I answered your question, Starry-eyed. So if you wrote me back, I haven't checked it yet. But yeah, okay. So Kevin, will there be states that break apart and attempt to gain separation and sovereignty from the economic issues? So I want you all to see. This is the Tower card. Okay, this is our shit hits the fan card because shit has been so bad that and people been warned, but they didn't pay attention, they didn't do what's right, so shit hits the fan. So the shit hits the fan card has come back out. We have been having the heavy hitter major arcana cards. We had the devil card. Okay, we've had the death card. We've had the shit hit the fan tower card. We have had the card of good fortune come in reverse. We have had a lot of heavy hitting major arcana cards because this shit is serious. We're not afraid, but it's serious, right? Okay, so let's get to it. I've been here for a while. Sorry, I've been here for a while, but we're into it. Oh shit, it's been 2 hours now. We've been here for 2 hours, even though like the first 10, 15 minutes I was getting it together. So I'll probably edit that out of the video once this processes and downloads. I'll probably edit that part out, the part where I wasn't really talking and we were getting it together. So I'll probably edit that out of this video um just for content purposes. Okay, well, let's get into this. So will there be states that break apart? Listen, there might be. There might be some states that say fuck this shit. It's funny because one of the thing it's funny that Kevin asked this, because you all know that I go researching and reading all around these here internet streets. One of the conversations that I have seen over the past year and a half is the potential for states to secede, right? The thing about secession is seeing this energy in these conversations over the past year and a half, 2 years about states seceding from the Union is repetition of Civil War energy. Remember, there were some states in the South that said that they were secede. Another point that I just want to clue y'all into that I didn't really share. Another point about this conversation, and even Kevin asking this question. Remember all of the things that were happening in Minnesota earlier this year with the two U.S. citizens getting unalived by ICE? Y'all want to know something? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all want to know something. I didn't share it, but put a 1 in the chat if y'all want to know. Because I'm sharing. I'm going to share something that is pertinent to this conversation. Okay. Did you all know that Minnesota, I think during the Civil War, was one of the first states to send troops? So seeing this quote unquote battling happen in Minnesota with ICE, being that we're in some of the energetics astrologically that took place during the Civil War, is quite interesting. So energetically, you could look at it as those Minnesota citizens were some of the first ones to quote unquote be offered up to the same astrological energy, to some of the same astrological energy that took place during the Civil War. So understand, so many things are connected. Like I said, I don't share every little thing that I find out or research or come to a conclusion. I don't share every little thing, but I find that quite interesting because yeah. That's all I'll say about that. Absolutely not a coincidence. Back to Kevin's question. Will there be states that break apart? It's absolutely possible. Absolutely possible. It depends on who's going to get into their feelings, but there may be some states that said, okay, we can't deal with this shit anymore. There may be some states that say we're stronger on our own, or some states who have reasoning like we can't do this anymore. The struggle is too great, because understand, so many when you understand how like taxes and stuff like that goes, as much as some people like to talk shit about some blue states, a lot of the blue states are sending money that's taking care of quote unquote the red states. And listen, I live in California now. Do I care for it? It depends on what you ask. It depends on what you ask. Do I care for these high ass taxes out here? No. Am I happy to know that children get free lunch at school in California? Yes. Okay. Mr. Hoodoo got a bonus at work. He got he got an end of the year bonus at work. The bonus was taxed at 30%. It's like 33%. He checked one of our accounts today and was just like, there's money missing. Why is there money missing? Oh, because they taxed the shit out of it because we live in California. California is a very large state. California grows most of the produce for this country. California is absolutely beautiful. It has numerous microclimates. Okay, NorCal is different from SoCal. I love the tacos and stuff like that. Um, but you can't buy a house here. You literally can't buy a house here because it's high as hell for no fucking reason. Um, there are pros and cons to California. And California is just as racist as in the South. They just do it differently. So all these people, oh, California is the safe blue haven, and I'd rather be here. Okay, it's just as racist here. And the sad part is that a lot of the racism comes from other communities, other quote unquote people of color here. So I say all that to say, there are pros and cons to living in California. Okay, pros and cons to living in California. California does have the fourth largest economy in the world. It's a state. So I guess that's good, but pros and cons. But to answer Kevin's questions, there might be some states that secede. There might be some states that secede. There might be some states that secede. There really might. I have seen part of this conversation. I've seen part of this conversation. I saw some of it last year. You know, that's repetition of Civil War energy, which, you know, we're kind of have going on again. But yeah, there might be some. Spirit told me there might be like 4 states that decide they want to secede. There might be 4. Okay, let's get to the second part of this question. How will this test the nation in this sense? I don't want to laugh, but y'all, here we are again. Here we are again with the fucking tower card. I'm starting to get tired of seeing this one, because it's just like the tower card is, we told you that bullshit would happen, but you waited and bullshit happened and now you're scrambling. So I mean, it's a release that needs to happen, but the build up to whatever a release is or what it's going to look like, it's not good. It's not good. How will this test the nation? It's gonna test what the fuck are we gonna do. It's gonna test what the fuck are we going to do. It would test everybody, and it would test us like what are we really gonna do? What are we really made of? Because there will be a point where if states secede, that's actions taken. So at that point, all the people who bullshit and get online and talk lip service, it's going to be then, okay, so what are you going to do? It will test us to see what are we going to do? Are we going to keep talking shit? Or are we actually going to do something to fix things? It will test this nation because you can't talk shit anymore. When the shit hits the fan, what are you going to do? Everybody who's I'm American and America first and I'm a citizen and we got to take care of our country. Okay, bitch, what you going to do? What are you going to do? Because you can't talk. The lip service isn't going to do anything. These are action cards. Action, 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 motherfucker, what you going to do? So it's going to test us. It's going to test our resolve in actually doing something. Test our resolve in actually doing something. What are you going to do? That will be the test. If states secede, that's going to be the test. What are we going to do? So, um that's going that will be the test. That will be the test. What you going to do? Okay, the next question is from Kevin. Kevin always has the great questions. We get into Kevin's questions tonight. Yeah, Kevin says that's why Californians are moving to Texas now. Listen, when we moved out here, it was for a job opportunity. My husband, he got recruited to come out here. We came out here. Are we doing good? We are doing good. We set some goals. We are achieving our goals, right? But we're not buying a house out here. I'd be stupid to buy a house in California when you can get the same house in another state for $400,000. I will be dumb as hell to spend 3 to 4 times on a little piece of shit house that you can get another state for 400,000. Like, I'm sorry, that's just not smart. Not smart at all. We're not buying here. We are renting and we riding this out because we have goals. We're not buying here. Whenever we leave here, whenever we leave California, okay, our plan is in the next 3 to 5 years to leave California. We not buying here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, we're getting the fuck out. Like I said, I love all the fruit trees and stuff, but buying here, no. Buying here, absolutely not. Okay, Kevin asks, how long will it take for the U.S. to recover from its insolvency? Truly, it might take a decade. It might take a decade. Oh, no. Answering Kevin's questions, it might take a decade. To truly get out? To truly get out? Yeah, it might take a decade. It might take a decade. Yeah, we had the house that we had that we sold. Listen, I lived in the Atlanta area. We had that house for 10 years. Was it 10 years? Yeah, it was 10 years. It was 10 years exactly. We had 4 bedrooms, 4 full bathrooms, a half bathroom, a 30,000-gallon pool in the backyard, 2.5-car garage, sitting on 2 to 3 acres. And when we bought that house for $228,000. I had 3 levels. I had a basement, main floor upstairs. One of the bedrooms was an in-law suite that had its own bathroom, bedroom, and a little living room, little sitting area. We bought that house for 228. We sold it for way, way, way more. A house like that in California, oh, that's easily almost $2 million. There's no way I would buy here. No way I would buy here. No way I would buy here. But anyway, that's answering Kevin's question. Kevin's question says that's a depression. Honestly, right now the United States is in a recession, but no one wants to say the R word. And it's just like, and this is the thing, like we have to stop with the just because we don't say it doesn't make it true. Wrong. They're not saying that we're in a recession, but we are in a recession. They don't want to say the R word. We're in a recession. Okay? We are in a recession. Just because they don't say the word doesn't mean that's not what's happening. Okay? Look at the way the debt climbed, even more so over this past year and a half of, we already had problems with the debt ceiling. Guess what? This goes again back to one of Kevin's questions earlier. Kevin asked, what was Kevin's question that I'm making a reference to? Kevin asked the question, what does this mean for the United States? We don't have allies. We are floating right now on the AI bubble. These different countries are going to start dumping the bonds that they have. They're not going to buy our bonds. We are losing allies. This is globalization. No one is out here on their own. And it's just like, why don't people anyway. Yeah. Insolvency to truly recover from it, it's probably gonna be 10 years. Mm-hmm. Sexy RN has the next question. She asks, will it take melanated people to fix this place? Starry Eye says Japan has most of our bonds. I want people to go look at I think it was a recent news story today about Japan and our bonds. If a country has to choose between buying our bonds and saving their country, of course, a smart move is to save yourself. Go look at the news story I think I saw today about Japan and our bonds. We have to be real with what's going on, and shit hitting the fan as a result of so many years of bullfuckery. And the thing about it is that what's happening now, and I told you all, certain things have to happen so that eventually something newer will come along. And what I meant by that is certain things were going to happen anyway, because some of this is fate and destiny. Certain things were going to happen anyway. The person that we have, this administration that we have right now, is just speeding it up. Certain things were going to happen anyway, because both sides have been on bullshit for a long time. Okay? It's just that the person that we have in now is speeding it up. But this debt has been debting for a long time. So, yeah, in the NWO, the New World Order, like I said, things have been happening, things have to happen. Because, yep, since the dollar left the gold standard, When did the dollar leave the gold standard? When was the Federal Reserve created? 19 what? 1913? Mm-hmm. When were we off of the gold standard? Uh-huh. Okay. So, yeah. Getting back to this question, will it take melanated people to save this place? No. Spirit said melanated people ain't working no more. Melanated people, get your money, get your resources. Okay. But y'all see this card? We ain't out here doing no work. We're not doing no work. You need to rest. Melanated people ain't do this. We're resting. Okay. We're going to have a good summer. Okay. With our barbecues and our fish fry and hanging out with the cousins and them. We're having a good time. You know, I still need to learn to wear that fan at dance. I need to give me a fan so I can learn to wear that fan at dance. I need to learn that dance. I have a fan. I need to learn it. But also, you know, I still haven't figured it out. I need to learn the Tamia dance. The Tamia line dance that everybody know but me. I don't know that one. I mean, I know the electric slide. Okay, I could do the wobble. Okay. I need to learn the fan dance and the Tamia line dance. I ain't worried about this shit. Because me and mine are gonna be good. I ain't worried about this shit. But no, it's not on melanated people to say this. It's not. Yeah, gotta teach your children the electric slide. Okay. Yeah. The destruction of relationships. Yeah, that's over. That is over with. Okay, so next question is from Kevin. Listen, I'm gonna be in Vegas this summer. Okay, my sorority, we're going to be in Las Vegas this summer. I'm gonna be in Vegas. I'm gonna be chilling with Nyla. Okay, Fuzzy Spiral. She said she coming too. Okay, I'm already planning my stuff in Vegas. I'm gonna get my IV drip. Okay, I know what food I'm gonna get. I'm be chilling with Nyla and Fuzzy. Okay, I'm gonna have a good time in Vegas this summer. I'm gonna have a good time. Okay, I'm gonna have a good time. Okay, I'm looking forward to my spa treatments. All these things. I'm having a good time. I ain't worried about it. I am not worried. So I think I said I was gonna. I know Natasha. We see her in the Child Time. She live in Vegas. If you've ever seen Lilith's Revenge in this chat or over at Taz's or at Nyla's, Lilith, she in Vegas. I think we all gonna get together for a Kiki. We might get together for a Kiki. I ain't worried. We gonna get together for a Kiki. So I ain't worried about it. I just want y'all to be prepared. Okay. Would the Allies be able to recover trust with the U.S. once Trump is out of office and perhaps a Democrat is in power? Okay, let's. Interesting. Yeah, we gonna have a good time. I ain't worried about it. Only if the next person that comes into power has empathy. Only if the next person that comes into power has empathy. So just because it's a Democrat doesn't mean that they're going to be like a good person or a good leader, right? The Allies will return to our side if we have empathy. If we have empathy, or the next ruler has empathy. Okay. If the next ruler is not next ruler, if the next leader or president isn't a snake in the grass, if the next president has empathy, and if the next president defends their allies. That's the only way. So those three conditions have to be met. It's not necessarily about who is a Democrat. It's about or Republican. It's about, will the next leader have empathy? Will the next leader defend its allies? Will the next leader stop with the bullshit? Stop with the sneakiness. Stop with the double crossing. But yeah, I'm gonna have a good time in Vegas. Matter of fact, I'm going to next week. I'm going to San Diego next week. So I'm going to San Diego next week. And then I don't know what's gonna happen in April. I'm not sure. But San Diego next week. Sometime between April and May. I'll probably be back in SoCal, maybe in Atlanta. Okay. I got me another international trip I'm supposed to take. I might be going to South Korea later on this year. Okay. Might be going to the US Virgin Islands with Babe because he wants to visit his grandparents' grave, his uncle's grave. Uh-huh. Cancun probably later on. Listen, I'm having a good time. Okay, I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time regardless. I'm having a good time regardless. The power is shifting and transforming. It sure is. Okay. I'll probably answer a couple more questions and then I'm gonna go. Yeah. Kevin said, I was about to say I ain't fixing nothing. Kevin said, get somebody else to do it. Y'all remember that scene from Friday, Make It Enough? Man, this ain't enough. Make it enough. Make it enough. Hey, listen, I'm having a time. I'm having a time. Yeah, I'm looking forward to St. Croix, Cancun, possibly South Korea later on this year. But yeah, make it enough. This ain't on us. This ain't on us. And you have to remember that the United States, whether people want to talk about it or not, the United States didn't even honor their treaties with the Native Americans. They didn't honor any of those treaties. Like we have a history of we can't be trusted. Look at what we're doing to Cuba. Look at what we're doing to Cuba. This is disgusting. Played the Hawaiian people, right? Hawaii had a monarchy. Okay. Played them, took over Hawaii. Okay. The United States is not good people in a lot of things. I mean, as far as like our foreign policy and what leadership does to people. Come on now. But yeah, get somebody else to do it, Maiden. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably answer one to two more questions and then I'm gonna leave just because we've been here for a while and I need to get more water and I need to make some dinner because I haven't had dinner. I really haven't eaten today. Because I've been so busy. Kevin asks, will this economic situation force a third viable power to rise as a means to rebel against the duopoly? Interesting. Interesting. That's a good question. Black Widow said this is the Flower Rangers' fault. I mean, the Flower Rangers, they're gonna flower range every time. Every time. And I hope that this has been a wake-up call to some people. Listen, you can work with people. You can work with people on projects. You give respect to people just out, in the grocery store. You respect people, you respect their boundaries. But a lot of people have truly, truly realized, and I say this from an energetic level, too many people want to align with white supremacy. I'm not talking about people, you may not like certain behaviors or some. Too many people want to align with white supremacy. this country has to pay for its sins, what it did to Native Americans, the indigenous, chattel slavery, and all the other ways that this country's leadership has fucked over other people in other countries. The country has to pay for its sins energetically. It just is what it is. I didn't make the rules. Oh, Kevin, you ain't know about Flower Rangers? Flower Rangers. The Alabaster folk, Mayo Sapiens. My personal favorite is the 6F. 6F, which is the hex code for that color. Like if you need to put like the hex code for a color, and you want the hex code to be, like for white, yeah, it's 6Fs. So 6Fs, Male Sapiens, the Alabasters, the Flower Rangers. It's so many good names. Respectfully. Yeah. Those who are allergic to the sun, so many yeah, pale pookie, people of no color. Yeah. Yeah, I don't trust it as a collective power either, because too many times they're out here just doing nothing. But anyway, let's get to this question. I'm starting to get tired now, but yeah, this is gonna be the last question I'm gonna answer, then I'm gonna go because it's late. And I need to make some dinner. Because Mr. Hoodoo is on a work trip and I have to fend for myself. So I have to go downstairs and make dinner. So boohoo. Last question, and I'm gonna get out of here. It's Kevin's question. Will this economic situation force a third viable power to rise as a means to rebel against the duopoly? I don't see it. I don't see it, Kevin. I don't see it. I see it as I see the quote unquote status quo being maintained as far as, conservative versus liberal. I don't see that changing. I don't see it changing. I don't see it changing. I don't see it changing. They're still going to defend it because it's a way to quote unquote trap people. Even after being hit in the face with a coming to Jesus moment, even with shit hitting the proverbial fan, they'll still find a way to defend it. They'll still find a way to defend it. So no, I don't see a viable third power coming to starting to rise. And I don't know if you all remember last year. Last year, Elon Musk was just like, we need a third party. We need the American party. Let's start an American party. Let's have a third party. And then him and Trump was beefing, which those of us who are astrologers, we saw the beef coming. We saw that they were gonna fall out and get back together. We saw it coming. And then he went and had a little meeting with Trump. And then he killed that America party. He killed that option. He killed it. That's why I said I want y'all to pay attention. See, Q be out here nosy on Twitter, Reddit. I'll be seeing different broadcasts and stuff on Rumble. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky. I'm on all the things because I need to be nosy. But being nosy will get you information. Okay? We'll get you information. But a viable third party, no. The sun hated people, yeah. No, it won't rise against the uniparty. No, it won't. It won't. So, yeah. Yeah. Listen, I saw a video of a man. It's an old video from 2024, but it was like some women standing outside protesting or whatever they were doing. This man came up and punched one of the women in the face. And then the women, other women standing there, start beating his ass or hitting him, trying to get him to stop. And the other man standing around just stood there and recorded. People won't even stand up for injustices against people or fight for people's rights and things like that. You think they're going to stop the uniparty? People stand around and record instead of doing something. People get mad at somebody doing something about the neighborhood pedophile instead of being mad at the pedophile and doing something to the pedophile. Y'all, not y'all here in the chat, but y'all won't even send your brother, father, uncle, cousin, auntie to jail if they're the family pedophile. Because it might ruin his life. It might ruin her life. Stop being a goddamn criminal. People won't even turn in the degenerates in their own family or stop associating with them. You think they're going to rise up against the uniparty? You think they're going to rise up against the uniparty? Teachers be out here teaching, doing what they do in the classroom, and if a student hit them, you're supposed to stand there and get your ass beat instead of defending yourself. If you defend yourself against a student who out here beating your ass, you're going to get in trouble and the student not. It's too much bullshit going on. You think they're going to fight against the uniparty? Yeah, okay. We got people out here that get mad at certain rules about decorum. You think they're going to rise up against the uniparty? People are literally out here telling other people that it's your fault that you're poor when systematic issues are at play. I will be out here, let's say on Threads or something like that, and people will say it's too expensive to buy a house in California. And the NIMBYs, the not in my backyard people, will tell people that, oh, you can afford to buy a house in California, just get 3 roommates. What type of shit is that? People will rather lick billionaire boots instead of wanting to do things to enforce changes, better changes for society. Too many people will rather lick boots. People are fine with criminality and degeneracy as long as it's their favorite celebrity. You really think people are going to rise up against the uniparty? You really think people are going to rise up against the uniparty? Okay. Okay. We just talking. We're just talking. We just talk. But yeah. Right. Kevin says got black fatigue but won't buck on the small hats. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to see all y'all who are quote unquote out here banging for the hood. And I mean all of y'all. Not just black ones, white ones, Mexican ones too. I want to see y'all go do what y'all need to do to take care of some people. I call out everybody. So, you know, yeah, would rather lick boots and do nothing. So yeah, there is no rise up against the uniparty. At least not right now. Not what I saw. Not what I saw. Not what I saw. And understand the mechanisms of what has been part of the history of this country. For example, some shit go down in another country. They are rioting. They go into the municipal buildings. They're rioting. They getting these motherfuckers up out of there quick, fast, in a hurry. We don't even have, we can't even come to an agreement as a US society to do what we need to do to bring the system to its knees, because the system is set up where our healthcare is tied to where we work. Most states have at will employment. Okay, maternity leave is a joke. When the company that I worked at, I was one of the lucky ones. The company that I worked at, I had 3 months of maternity leave if if I had a baby. But that's just 3 months. Other countries, you get to bond with your baby for a year and you're still getting paid. So understand that the bullshit that goes on in this country, it's not a bug, it's a feature. We can't even decide as a country that we're going to protest or bring the system down because we don't even have enough money as a country, as citizens, as a whole, to work together to bring this system down because we got to go to work. And if we don't go to work, you don't get paid or you don't get the health care. This is why I've been telling you all, get your resources together and build community. Build community. And part of the problem with this country is we are too individualistic. We are not community minded. But anywho, that's all. That's all. Thank you all for being here and rocking with me. I know it's late for some of you all. Thank you all for being here with me. Thank you all for your questions. Thank you all for your support. I truly appreciate you. Um, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Lots of things to think about, but I want you all to make sure that you are doing your cleansing, your protection, your money drawing, your road opener work at least once a month. You're 4 for 4, as Starry Eyed gave it a wonderful name. You're 4 for 4. This way, you're keeping the bullshit off and you're keeping the gates of goodness open to flow to you. Um, do what you have to do for you and your family. Just do not lie, scam, steal, be a degenerate. Do whatever you do to prepare. And we could all be preparing for nothing. Or we could be preparing, and if shit does hit the fan, we quote unquote won't be scrambling. For example, when the pepperoni happened, when COVID happened, a lot of people were scrambling to get food and things like that. My household has always kept a deep freezer, stocked pantry, stocked food. So we could have lived in our house for a couple months and would have been fine. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So make sure that you pray, um whatever your faith is, whatever your spiritual practice is, ask for guidance follow the answers to your prayers, and all we can do is prepare. We may be preparing for nothing, or we'll be ahead of the curve. Okay. All right, y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank you very, very much. I love y'all so much. I will see you in these YouTube streets. I will try to come by tomorrow because I think there's a conversation that we can have that kind of relates to this. So we'll probably do a esoterica obscura or look into something, prepare for quote unquote possible tinfoil hat conspiracy talk, but I think we really need to examine it because the conversation that I want to have kind of ties into this. So I love y'all very, very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for watching all of this stuff. I will see y'all in these YouTube streets. I will try to come back tomorrow.